Now in that same region, there were shepherds living in the fields, keeping watch over their flock by night. Then an angel of the Lord stood before them, and the glory of the Lord shone around them, and they were terrified. The Gospel according to Luke. They were terrified. Hello, prayer partners and friends. This is Pastor Wolfgang from Christ the King Lutheran Church in Cary, North Carolina, coming to you on the afternoon of Christmas Eve to wish you a most blessed Christmas and a happy and blessed New Year as well. They were terrified. Luke says it seems terror is never far away when people encounter God. You know, and we are so often terrified at night when it's dark. Some years ago, I heard a very powerful sermon by Otis Mars III, a pastor from Chicago, a powerful black preacher, who preached a sermon called God Works the Night Shift. I was at his church on the south side of Chicago at Trinity UCC Church, and you know, I was just sitting there mesmerized because over the course of about an hour and a half, Pastor Mars took us literally through the whole Bible to show us all the times when God works the night shift, when God works in the dark, when God does miraculous and amazing things at night. In fact, the title of the sermon was God Works the Night Shift. I was reminded of that sermon recently during the summer when we had a visit from Cherie Green, who is the co-author of this book called God's Holy Darkness. And she came and read for us and signed books, and we had a whole series during Advent on this in our midweek Advent services to talk a little bit about how God works the night shift and how God does amazing things in the dark, and how our sometimes irrational fear of the dark isn't always justified. Now, of course, it's true in many, many cultures, including our own, darkness is associated with fear and with uncertainty. And daylight, you know, is associated with brightness and sun and life and all that. But darkness also stands for rest. It stands for quiet. It stands for a good night's sleep for most of us, hopefully. But what we do as human beings is, you know, we look at darkness and we look at light, and the Bible does this too. And what the Bible doesn't intend is something we do, which is we put a moral judgment on this. And before you know it, we say, well, darkness is bad and darkness is evil, and light, that's good. Light, that's the good stuff, you know. And before you know it, we then transfer that onto people. And we do like dark-skinned people are somehow lesser than light-skinned people. And of course, that's very much the definition of racism, is it not? And prejudice. And as a society, we struggle with that. We deal with that every day. Well, the biblical witness doesn't intend to make those moral judgments. In fact, in the Bible, as Pastor Mars pointed out in that powerful, powerful sermon, God works day and God works at night. I mean, think about this. God created the world at night, right? God led the Israelites through the desert by night with a pillar of fire. God raised Jesus from the dead at night. And of course, the birth in Bethlehem, right? That we celebrate tonight. The birth in Bethlehem happens at night as well. So God really does work the night shift. And this season, this Christmas, people of God, let's remember that God can work in the daylight and at night, and that God always loves you, whether it's dark or whether it's night, and that we can always count on God and on God's amazing and unconditional love and mercy and grace. Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year to you from our house to yours. God bless you.